So we have looked at level 2 and level 3 beginner yoga sessions. So this one is going to be about level 4, the final level yoga session for beginners. This will help you reach a certain level of flexibility and fitness, which will allow you to do more advanced practices. Always make it a habit to apply the tongue lock. There's two fingers to the two feet. You apply the tongue lock, and then you breathe in, raise the heels up, raise the hands up, gaze fixed on one point, stretch up as much as you can. Chin slightly tucked behind, arms are touching the side of the head. Keep stretching more and more. Try to keep the heels as stable as possible. And then relax. Do not let the heels and the ankles wobble too much. Try to maintain for as long as you can. Make sure that the arms go all the way up and slightly behind. You're touching the side of the head. Relax. You should feel a strain in the calf muscle, and the important thing is to keep the ankles as stable as possible. If you're done with 4 rounds of this, you can then, or even 3 rounds. If you're maintaining for a very long time, then 3 rounds is also good enough. Then we go for the second warm-up. 2 fingers distance. Again, apply the tongue lock. Chin slightly tucked behind. Eyes are closed in this one. And we go on stretching the arms laterally, sideways, as much as possible, and stretch the fingers in all the directions so that the forearms are also stretched properly. And stretch both the arms equally. Doing the abdominal breathing. Both the arms should make one straight line, just parallel to the floor. Keep stretching more and more. Keep forcefully pushing the tip of the tongue against the roof of the mouth so that the neck muscles are engaged. Stretching, fingers also keep on stretching in all the directions so that forearms are also getting a nice stretch. Then relax. The blood flow to the fingers. And we do one more time. Put the hands at the level of the shoulders. Arms stretched sideways, Fingers stretched in all the directions. Tongue lock in place, eyes closed, abdominal breathing. And relax, let the blood flow to the fingers. This works on the upper body symmetry. Now we work on the lower body symmetry. We keep both the legs together. We'll do the third type of chair posture where the legs are together. There is no distance between the 2 feet. Feet are touching each other, ankles touching each other, knees touching each other, thighs touching each other. Both the hands on the both palms on the thighs. Go down as much as possible. Make the thighs as parallel to the floor as possible. Once you've gone down as much as possible, you release the support of the palms. Join the palms in front of the chest. Then by straightening the back and opening up the chest, we try to look up at the ceiling without moving the neck. Tuck the chin slightly behind and press the tip of the tongue forcefully against the roof of the mouth. Do abdominal breathing. Maximum weight on the heels. Try to maintain for 30 seconds. Always remember abdominal breathing. And relax. Go for the second round. You go down as much as possible, keeping both the legs touching each other. Try to make the thighs as parallel to the floor as possible. Relax the legs for some time. Third round. Legs together, palms on the thighs, going down as much as possible. Slide the tongue lock. Press the tip of the tongue forcefully against the roof of the mouth and push it up and behind. Always remember abdominal breathing. Maximum weight on the heels. Trying to make the thighs as parallel as possible. Do one last round. Try to maintain for 30 seconds. There's 2 fingers distance between the 2 feet. Shifting the hips in front, shifting the weight on the toes. We breathe in, take the hands up and behind. As you breathe out, we keep shifting the weight on the toes. And we bring the head and the arms down as though someone is pulling the arms from the front. Someone is stretching the arms from the front. So your hips are shifted in front. More weight on the toes. Head and arms should come down together. Keep the knees straight. Hips are shifted in front. More weight on the toes. Just try to relax the upper body with every exhalation. Remember to contract the muscles of the toes. We contract the muscles of the toes so that we are almost gripping the mat. When we are stretching in front, we are almost gripping the mat with the toes. And also when we are stretching down, it's as though someone is pulling our hands from the front. Just pulling it in front, and then the head and the hands are coming down together. Always maintain the arch in the back when bending down. Maintain the posture for some time so that you feel that extra stretch at the back of the legs. Like I said, someone is pulling the hands in the front. Toe muscles are contracted so that you put maximum weight on toes. Abdominal breathing. The aim is to stretch down as much as possible with every exhalation. Relax. We'll do Bhavasana. The first round Bhavasana with just palms in front of the chest, held for 30 seconds. You can place either 12 fingers or 8 fingers distance between the two heels. Feet are turned outwards. Hands on the thighs. Straighten the waist. First, keep the gaze fixed on one point in front of you and straighten the waist. The back is already straight, you're straightening the waist also, this hip joint. And join the palms in front of the chest. Go down as much as possible. Do abdominal breathing. Try to clench the buttock muscles so that the pelvic floor is lifted up. And with that, do abdominal breathing. Also apply the tongue lock. Forcefully push the tongue against the roof of the mouth and tuck the chin slightly behind. So when you're maintaining the posture, you take the knees sideways and you contract the buttock muscles. That will be engaging the pelvic floor. The pelvic floor is the muscle that holds the organs. Second round. All the way down first, then along with the back, also straighten the waist so that we are not leaning in front. The back is straight, and also the waist, the hip joint is also straight like this. Then we join the palms in front, abdominal breathing. Take the knees as sideways as possible and clench the buttock muscles. Push the tip of the tongue against the roof of the mouth, and always remember abdominal breathing. Relax. Relax the leg muscles. Do the third round with the palms joined behind. The thumb should be pointing behind, fingers pointing up. Try to take it as high as possible. And then we maintain for 30 seconds. Again, you should not lean in front. Try to straighten the waist as much as possible. Forcefully push the tip of the tongue against the roof of the mouth. Clench the buttock muscles. Do abdominal breathing. And the final round of this, we'll do all 4 positions of the arms. 8 seconds, the palms are in front. 8 seconds, the palms stretched right side. 8 seconds, palms stretched left side. And final 8 seconds, palms are behind. Turn the feet sideways, hands are on the thighs. We go down as much as possible. Back is straight, waist is also straight. Join the palms. Tongue lock in place, buttocks clenched, pelvic floor lifted up. Abdominal breathing. 8 seconds, palms are in front. Then switch. Then switch. And then switch finally. Keep the eyes fixed. We'll stretch again, but this time we're doing stomach vacuum. So let me just talk in detail about the stomach vacuum. When you're doing the stomach vacuum, we first breathe out completely and you're holding the breath. But when we hold the breath, we have to relax the stomach. Because when we breathe out, the stomach goes in, right? And then again, we have to relax the stomach, we hold the breath, and then we do mock inhalation. We try to breathe in without breathing in. We just pretend to breathe in, and that will pull the stomach in. So it's basically, you breathe out completely, hold the breath, relax the stomach a bit, and then pull the stomach in. So it should be relaxed. Breathing out, hold the breath out. While you hold the breath, you relax the stomach a bit, and then you pull the stomach in by expanding the chest without breathing in. So it's like mock inhalation. So breathing in up, breathing out completely, going down. Hold the breath out. Relax the stomach when you hold the breath, and then pull the stomach in by doing mock inhalation. You're pretending to breathe in by expanding the chest, but only the stomach is getting pulled in. Only hold the breath and hold the stomach vacuum for 8 seconds only, not more than that. Less than 8 seconds is fine. Then you first relax the stomach and then breathe. Breathe in straight. Okay. The right hand, you take the left hand up, right arm touching the side of the head. Okay. We can place the right palm below the thigh, or we can place it on the waist. We breathe in first and breathe out. Raise the leg up. Try to make it as parallel to the floor as possible. So from the front, it looks like this. The left arm is touching the side of the head. If you can't maintain the leg too long, can't maintain the position of the leg too long, with the knee straight, you can place the right palm below the thighs. Try to keep it up. Do abdominal breathing. Apply the tongue lock. And relax. Same thing on the other side. The right arm will be stretched up. Right arm touching the side of the head. Left palm on the waist. And we raise the left leg up. Try to make it as parallel as possible. Both the knees are straight. If you can't maintain like this, you can place the palm below the thigh. Keep it up. Gaze fixed on one point. And then relax. So slightly more advanced posture. Try to contract the abdominal muscle of that one side of the body. So when we are doing this, tendency to lean behind a bit like this. You will not lean behind and keep the back straight. And then just try to contract the thigh muscles. Contract one side of the abdomen. The other side is getting stretched. One side is getting contracted. Keep the leg up. Keep the knees straight without leaning behind. The knees are straight. Take support of the palm. Keep it up for some time. And then relax. So 4 rounds on each side for both the legs. Keeping the back straight, do not lean behind. No leaning behind, back straight, knees are straight. Tie the tongue long, tuck the chin behind. And relax. The exact complement of this posture is Dandasana, or the T pose. So you are making the shape of the letter T. The body, put the hands on the waist, elbows should be up. You keep the back straight and just bend at the hip joint, at the waist joint. Make the torso parallel. Raise one leg up so that the torso and the leg makes one straight line. The gaze is fixed on one point on the floor. Elbows are up. Doing abdominal breathing. Maintain for some time. Elbows are pointing up when you're doing this. Elbows are pointing up. There's no rotation of the hip. Keep the gaze fixed on one point on the floor. Maintaining is important, so you can take support of the wall also in order to maintain. And release. After Trigandasana, we'll be doing the Dhanurasana, the bow pose. So we'll lie down on the stomach, chin on the floor. We fold both the legs, we hold the ankles. With the fingers are pointing out, thumb pointing in. Thumb is inwards, fingers outwards. Hold the ankles properly. Now we'll just try to straighten the knees. We'll not lift the upper body up. The chin and the shoulders are relaxed on the floor. We're just trying to straighten the knees and lift the ankles up. So when we try to do that, the legs will come up on its own and we breathe in. As we go into the posture, we breathe in and we hold the breath in. So entire weight comes on the abdomen. It should not fall on the groin region. If the weight is falling on the groin region, it is wrong. It fall on the abdomen. So for that, keep the upper body down on the floor only. Just try to straighten the knees. So next we are doing Virasana. So pay attention to small details in Virasana. Like try to keep the feet vertical as much as possible. Initially, the base of the toes can touch the floor. Like in my case, the toe joints are touching the floor in my case. But that could be a bit too challenging initially. So the base of the toes. So keeping the feet vertical, I try to flatten just like I flatten the knuckles while cracking the knuckles. Similarly, I try to place the base of. Then without leaning too behind, we just keep the back straight. There, so that when we press the fingers on the thigh joint, the wrist and the forearms get a nice stretch. If we take the back too behind, it will reduce the stretch and pressure on the palms. We are not just using the acupressure points of the feet, we are using the acupressure points of the palms as well in this. So the wrist joints and the fingers should get a nice pressure. So do not push the back too behind like this. That will reduce the pressure on the palms. It will reduce the stretch in the forearms. So keep the back straight. Let the palms and forearms get a nice stretch. Just straighten the elbows. So the palms and forearms get a nice stretch. Even the feet are getting a nice. So we are using the principles of foot reflexology as well as palm reflexology. Together it will balance the endocrine system. Okay. So initially the base of the toes are on the floor. Then slowly keeping the feet vertical, we place the joints of the toes, the front joints of the toes. The back should be straight, it shouldn't be leaning behind too much. This is a bit proper palms also get a nice pressure. For Vajrasana, we can either attempt the posture, keeping the lower back pushed in front, or we can do the single leg stretch If we are attempting the Vajrasana posture, we'll push the lower back in front. Main thing is the weight should be properly distributed between the side of the foot, the knee, and the hip. Okay, so even while attempting the stretch, the single leg stretch, there should be proper distribution of weight on the knee, on the side of the foot, and on the hip. Properly distributed, and also we are consciously relaxing the lower body. So we tightened the muscles of the legs in all the previous postures. Now we are consciously relaxing those very muscles. The entire lower section of the body below the waist should be completely relaxed. The side of the foot is pressed, is clubbed against all the other toes. The side of the big toe is getting clubbed with the other toes. Ankles are on the floor. Knees properly relaxed and on the floor. The hip is also falling. So when we do that, we get a compression in the waist region. The leg should be relaxed. All the tension you should feel in the torso region, in the waist region. Initially there will be tension in the leg muscles, but you need to consciously relax those muscles. Keep it as loose as possible, so that the tension gets transferred up towards the waist and the torso region, and that will engage all the muscles of the torso region, will strengthen the muscles of the torso region. You lose fat in the waist also with this. You consciously relax the leg and then try to create a compression in the side of the waist. For the anterior stretch, you place the hands behind, shoulders down and behind. You try to bring the shoulder blades together. It's like we are trying to contract the back muscles. Try to bring the shoulder blades together. Shoulders are down and behind. And we breathe in first. And as we breathe out, remember the fingers are on the floor. Thumb in front, fingers behind. We breathe out and lift the hips up. Try to open up the chest. Try to contract the back. Try to bring the shoulder blades together. Lift the body up. Try to make the feet flat on the floor. The entire foot region, the entire sole as well as the toes should touch the floor. The feet are flat on the floor. Doing abdominal breathing while maintaining the posture. And then relax. You should feel that contraction in the back muscles. Because we've opened up the chest, we're contracting the back, we are trying to bring the shoulder blades together. Then the opposite stretch is Paschimottanasana. Pull the toes maximum towards you. Keep pulling it towards you. Keep stretching the toes towards you as much as possible. You keep the back straight. There should be no hunch in the back. The front of the buttocks is on the floor. We breathe in and stretch the hands up. We keep pulling the toes towards us using the leg muscles, keeping the knees straight, and then try to hold soles while breathing out. And with that also you use the leg muscles and keep pulling the toes towards you, keeping the knees straight as much as possible so that you stretch the back of the knee properly. And then we attempt Vajrasana again, or Vajrasana stretching. Try to relax the leg muscles completely. All the tension should be in the waist so that there is proper fat burn. Okay, the leg muscles should be as relaxed as possible. Just keep the legs as loose as possible. The entire section below the waist. Keep it relaxed. If you're attempting Vajrasana, you join the palms above the head, keeping the elbows straight, but do not interlock. You join the palms above the head. You stretch the arms up as much as possible. The lower back is pushed in front. And we stretch down. Try to bring the chest to the floor, to the chest, to the thighs. Try to bring the chest to the thighs, but do not rest the palms on the floor. The palms remain in the air. The palms are in the air. They don't touch the floor. And we try to touch the chest to the thighs. Then breathing in, we come up. So those who are doing Vajrasana will do Utkat Vajrasana also. The palms are behind, one elbow folded, other elbow folded, keeping the knees down. See if you can straighten one elbow, place one shoulder down, other shoulder down, and do Utkat Vajrasana. Cross the forearms behind the neck. Maintain with abdominal breathing. While releasing, we hold the heels or the ankles. We press the elbows against the floor and we release. While sitting in Vajrasana also, we can do the lateral stretches, bending laterally. The forward stretch either by holding the opposite elbow, stretching up and coming down. When we sit also in Vajrasana, this is the ideal position of sitting. There's an arch in the back, proper arch in the back. Maintain the position with that arch like this. We try to sit in Vajrasana for at least whenever you can practice after the meals. Try to sit for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just like this. Okay, lower back pushed in front. So that will make all the difference in the world. There should be no hunch. This should not happen. This is not as effective. Proper shifting of the weight on the knees. So the shoulders are fixed, only the lower back is getting pushed. That's why we place the thumb in the fist and we keep the fist on the knees. That position is fixed. This shoulder position is fixed. Only the lower back is getting pushed in front. When the heels are together, we ensure that the front of the buttocks are on the floor, back is straight, and then we bring the heels closer. The back will always be straight, and then when you flap the knees, they will come down easily. You will feel a nice stretch in the inner thigh joint. This is known as Bhadrasana. So in the oldest texts, in the oldest scriptures of yoga, there's just 4 main poses: Padmasana, Vajrasana, Bhadrasana, and there's one more called Siddhasana. So these are the main sitting postures. If you just perfect these postures, the health of the spine, the health of the waist region, abdomen region will always be perfect. So that's why the form is important. The back, that's why I keep saying the front of the buttocks. Your tailbone is touching like this, the back is already bent. Always use the palms, try to push with the palms like this, place the front of the buttocks on the floor, try to push the lower back in front as much as possible, and then try to flap the knees. So this is actually a stable posture where you can even meditate. So it should be very stable. When you're sitting, this thing should be very stable like this. Be flat. The thighs, the knees should be flat on the floor. So keep the back straight, flap the knees. Then forward stretch will do, interlocking the fingers, holding the feet together, keeping the back straight. We try to bring with the knees towards the floor. We try to bring the elbows towards the floor. And one last stretch would be palms on the floor, back straight. Interlock the fingers, sorry, we place the fingers on the floor. With every exhalation, we crawl with the fingers. Again, we stop, we keep the palm in that position. Again, we breathe in, breathe out, crawl more with every exhalation. Remember, you're engaging purely at the hip joint, at the waist joint, as much as possible. Keep the back straight. We inhale again, keeping the palm in that position. And as you exhale, crawl more. So I'm trying to keep the back as straight as possible. Only the lower joint, the waist joint, this portion is bending. You can bring the knees together, straighten the knees. You can attempt Padmasana once. See if you can sit in Padmasana directly without the stretches. So these are the four. This is like for all the beginners, 4 postures which are like the threshold. Okay. So in Vajrasana, we are bending in front like this and stretching behind, and then Padmasana. Same thing, we're stretching in front, holding the breath, breathing in, and we do that multiple times. And also the 4th one is backward stretch in Padmasana. Keeping the knees down, we cross the forearms below the head. So these 4 postures are like the threshold for all the beginners. Starting at the start, just getting these 4 postures right is important. Forward bend in Padmasana, backward stretch in Padmasana, and then forward bend in Vajrasana. See, forward bend in Vajrasana, where the chin comes close to the knees like this. And then backward stretch in Vajrasana with the forearms crossed behind. So these are the 4 postures that everyone should master initially. Once you reach that stage, then we can do advanced upper body practices, because the back will be stretched properly. There will be proper traction in the lower back. So with that flexibility in place, we can do more advanced postures for the upper body, like balancing on the upper body and all, lifting the upper body from behind, like in Chakrasana and all. So okay, we'll stand up, we'll walk on the balls of the feet. So we stretch the hands up, we raise the heels up, we raise the toes also up. We make the feet as vertical as possible. And we put maximum weight on the balls of the feet. We walk 2 to 3 rounds on the balls of the feet. And 2 to 3 rounds on the heels of the feet. Keeping the back straight, keeping the arms stretched up. And then we'll relax in Shavasana.
So like I said, this was a sample online session. So yeah, I have started online classes, and if you're interested, you can just comment in the comment section below and just let me know, and I'll get back to you. I have started a few online batches. That's Indian Standard Time 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. and Indian Standard Time 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. If I get enough students, I'll obviously make more batches. So yeah, let me know in the comment section if anyone is interested in online classes, and then I can conduct the same for you. Thanks.